Great.
Absolutely, good sir. So in Black Clover 237, we zoom in on the second Spade Kingdom mage fighting 3 magic knights. One of them was Klaus and his compass magic. So the Spade Kingdom mage used, it seemed to be mist magic that was also amplified by devil magic as well. So they were having some trouble with him. It showed that there was a bunch of Golden Dawn knights down, and came in, but he had sustained some injuries in the last battle, so he is not as powerful as he would be. But he did manage to create an opening that Klaus took advantage of, and there was a big reveal that it was confirmed that the elf magic that was... They go to like a flashback where William Vanges is talking to Klaus and some of the other Golden Dawn members who were hosts for the elves, and it confirms that the elf magic is still within them. That's actually, they can tap into that and make themselves more powerful. So the big reveal that I got, and I'll lead into some questions with that, but big reveal for me was that all of those hosts now, Luck included, obviously, like they have at least some portion of that elf magic that they can tap into. So fast forward, they take care of that mist, Spade Kingdom Magic Knight, and it looked like the panel that, from how I saw it, the roof collapsed after they're talking, and it was the last Spade Kingdom Magic Knight using his bone magic, and he had defeated William Vangeance. Like, I looked a little closer into the panels, and there was like spikes through his legs, and so they were pretty shocked. And it seems like he still has some gas in the tank, so to speak. So going into next week, I will see. Hopefully, if someone's going to help them out, or if they're going to be able to work together. They seem to be at their last rope there. So I guess some questions that I would have is, one, that bone magic that the Spade Kingdom Knight has, would we classify that as arcane magic or zero stage magic? Do we know? Do we,
Well, he's probably a zero stage, and he might be an arcane stage. If that, we don't quite know what arcane stage is, but bone magic seems abnormal enough. Yeah. Also, just to be clear, that guy is the leader of the Dark Triad.
Yeah, we don't know if he's the leader, but he's one of the Dark Triad. He's one of the 3.
He's one of the 3.
Okay, he's at least one of the 3, but I thought he was the leader. Like, he's Xenon. His name is Xenon. Like, I'm pretty sure he's the leader who...
I think he's the top of the triangle. Triangle.
So he's not just some nobody, and he did...
Yeah, I was just going to...
He did defeat Vangeance, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think...
Vangeance was knocked out, completely beaten.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I don't think he's dead yet, though. I don't think he's
dead. No, he's not dead because he was captured. They needed him. They needed him.
Yeah, they're there to get him.
Arcane stage, yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't know. That was just a quick question I had. Another question that would have been a quick one was, at a point when they're battling the Spade Kingdom mage from the Mist, or the Mist mage from the Spade Kingdom, they say he creates an opening and Klaus uses his compass magic, and there's a panel or like a section that says about his illusion armor.
Well, it wasn't Klaus, it was the other golden.
Oh, was it the other golden? Okay.
Yeah. So Latoile is her name, or Latoile.
Gotcha. But the illusion armor, she says, like, I'll use this chance to break down his illusion armor. Was that his magic, or was that like the devil magic that was amplifying? Because it looked like it was like black, like kind of eroding away from him, but I didn't know if that was like his mist magic that he was using, or if we knew that.
I mean, I don't think they're two separate things, right? I think it's
I was going to say
their own magic, which is buffed by the devil magic.
That's what I thought.
So yeah, it's his mist magic, but with the devil magic mixed in, but still his powers that he's using.
Okay, cool. And then so I guess my last question for this chapter, because it wasn't, in my mind, it wasn't a huge, it was kind of quick. It wasn't, in time for their time, it was just a little snippet into what's going on. Yeah. But how strong do we think William Vangeance is now compared to how strong he was before the Elf Arc? Like, in my mind, he would have been more powerful before the Elf Arc, being able to tap in fully to that elf magic. I feel like now he's at least not, obviously not a huge decrease in his power, but I do think he's a couple steps back. Like, I don't think he's the same William Vangeance we saw before that. What do you guys think?
So I think he's still like kind of torn right now with like his beliefs, because you got to think, like, from when he was like a child, he had this other person living inside of him, and so And coming back to fully, he had like killed Julius, and I think he's still kind of living with that. So I think he definitely has some other issues going on that's making him weaker. But I could definitely see him, like, there being like a couple panels where he kind of realizes that, hey, like, I'm still me, even though this other person had kind of controlled me and my destiny for these past whatever X amount of years. And so I could see him kind of like reawakening the power of the elf, but controlling it to his own, because I don't think he's tapping into that elf power.
Right.
Because if he did, I mean, he's arguably stage 0 without the elf, and then with the elf, he's stage -1, or whatever. Like,
well, he's an arcane mage. I mean, it's confirmed that he is an arcane because they're after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think with the tapped in power, because we never saw his. No, we saw his magic with the elf, right?
Well, they're two separate magics. For what I got, the elf, it was light that was in him was that his own magic, and then William Vangeus's magic is tree magic. I guess what I'm saying is not the type that he could tap into, but like, was he at a base because he was, kind of with that elf, and they were two people living in the same body with all of his power? Would he have been more powerful? Like, would he have a deeper well of magic before the elf arc? Like, now is he, kind of like eroded away a little bit?
So I don't think that I don't think it was like the other reincarnated elves who they took over the body and then they were using their own elf magic. I think his relationship with Patry I think they completely separated themselves. I don't think Vengeance ever really tapped into his elf power. I think he was always using his own power. That's what I think.
I agree.
And therefore, I don't think that I don't think he would have gotten weaker then. I think it was just like, two separate people, one body. Now it's just they both have their own bodies.
Right.
And so I think he's just as strong. And that being said, before it has been stated in the past that Vengeance was considered to be the strongest captain out of all the Magic Knights. So that obviously Yami is underrated. But I think that Yami and Vengeance are pretty comparable, and that I don't think Vengeance would have lost any power from having the body split like that. I think he's just the same, which makes this new villain that much scarier, because Vengeance is pretty much like Yami. So what that tells me is that this guy one-on-one with Yami, he might have just, I don't know if it would be that dominant, but this guy probably would have beaten Yami 1v1, which makes him a huge threat.
The only thing that I would argue in that is this, with Black Clover, there is a heavy play on strengths and weaknesses, like type disadvantages. So,
I'd say maybe.
Yeah, Yami's dark magic might have a type advantage to that bone magic or whatever. Like, we don't know. The tree magic could have been cut up by that bone magic because there was a type disadvantage there for Vengeance too. Like, because we didn't see the battle, I guess we can't assume to know like just how powerful this dude is. But he's definitely strong. Don't get me wrong.
What's harder, bone or wood? Like, if you took a bone and a piece of wood and tried to break it, which would break faster?
I would imagine
a nice mahogany,
nice
thick cherry.
But I feel like in the context of the series, those two powers are probably very comparable in what they can do. Right? You got
it looked like they were almost, like I had a hard time distinguishing the trees and bones.
It was all bone.
Yeah, that was all bone in the last panel.
Yeah,
It showed that he was so dominant.
Which leads me to believe that there was a type disadvantage. Like, that bone could cut through a lot of his tree magic. It seemed to me like he kind of like shredded him up.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's scary because there's no type disadvantage, and that it was just even.
And if there's none, then he's definitely a scary character for sure. I'm right with you. I want to know more about him, and like if he's an arcane that has, before we judge how powerful he is compared to like, if Vengeance is one of the strongest captains and he just mid-diffed him, that's a little ridiculous.
So I would doubt that any of the Triad members are not arcane. I feel like that's like the devil is gonna seek more towards those types of magic. But I also kind of going back to my thing of where Vengeance could have just not necessarily given up, but he doesn't necessarily. He's kind of like lost purpose. And so I feel like he's definitely not like kind of what DJ said, or not at his like full power. And I feel like that he's gonna get this like spark like from light or from somebody, or basically kind of getting him to realize that, hey, like you are supposed to be the next magic or wizard king, like, right? Because he was the one in line to be the next wizard king. And so I feel like right now he's just in this like torn kind of like mental state, and that's why he got defeated. But like once he realizes like, hey, no, I'm the real deal, I'm gonna like come back and fight this and then win this battle. So I feel like he lost due to the circumstances, not from type or anything like that. Because I mean, yes, it's wood. Like if you think of it as like a natural, like, okay, wood or bone, bone would probably be stronger, but like it's magic wood. It's not like normal wood. Right. Like, so it's. I
could argue that it's magic bone though as well.
Yeah,
dude, I think wood would be stronger, honestly.
The magic wood is stronger than steel. It's in a whole different universe, right? So, and because it's protected by magic, that could like reinforce it and stuff. So, like I said, I think it comes back down to Vangeance's like mental state, and because that's where all this magic comes from, is like your emotions and your ability to control your emotions. I mean, we've seen that with Noelle like the entire time, and it comes down to your emotions and what you're thinking and those types of things. And so like I just think Vengeance is at such a torn state that it could get the Xenon to be like over cocky and think, oh, I just took out their like highest ranking member. But I mean, I think that we all think that Yami really is the GOAT, and he's the strongest out of the Magic Knight squad, Magic Knight leaders. Obviously, Asta is the strongest. I mean, we can all agree on that. Like, I mean, he gonna clap some cheeks, but like, and so, but I think, I mean, with Yami, he's got like a dimensional splitter, like what? Like
we know that's gonna cut through wood.
Well, yeah.
Well, and
here's the thing, like,
that this bone magic could be special is I'm going off of other animes, specifically Naruto, when they introduce a bone.
Kimimaro
power, like normally, and I'm pretty sure in other animes there's been like when a bone power is introduced, it's like something that's special to like.
Yeah, it's ominous and like very
dark. Yeah, very dark.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm going with like why I feel like he's just a little bit more special and might have some advantages over regular magic users or other arcane types or whatever. Yeah. But I definitely could see where you're coming in at. Yeah,
but I mean, I think you're really sleepy on this guy because he's Zenon. I mean, he is. I mean, not you, Devin. Like, just in general, this is the major villain of this next arc. Like, everything we've seen up till the time skip is like, one saga.
He's one of the main.
I don't know. He's like one of the main. Let me remind you of something. Okay, right before the time skip, they went on Luck and a few others went on a scouting mission to the Diamond Kingdom, and they saw this guy. He just slaughtered an entire army of Diamond Kingdom Magic Knights. And Luck of all people, looks at this guy, and he starts sweating. And he's like, this is a new feeling for me. I don't want to fight this guy.
Well, we don't know that he actually saw him. He saw all the bodies.
He saw his back. No, he saw his back.
No,
they were looking at him.
He did see him.
Okay, this was before the time skip. They were hyping this guy up.
Okay.
When has Luck ever had a reaction?
Well, he didn't hype up Patri. Patri was a major villain that then became somewhat of a Madara Kaguya like swap.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm comparing this guy to Patri, but Luck didn't have that reaction to Patri. All right, this guy, he's definitely like, I think he's the equivalent of Patri in this saga, but he's clearly much more powerful.
Yeah,
I mean, Luck does not know how to the emotion of fear. Okay, that was his first time experiencing that emotion in his entire life.
Well, he also he wasn't around the devil either. So like you can't compare this,
I'm not comparing this guy to the devil.
That's fair.
I'm saying he's like a Patri level villain.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's the Patri of this saga. But he's strong.
I mean, I could see that for sure. I'm not saying that he's not a very powerful guy. I don't know whether he's going to make it out of the Clover Kingdom, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he makes it, is he going to succeed in this mission, and are we going to see more of him? Or are we just getting into it right now where he's fighting? And because right now we have him versus Like now
and
Yuno's a lot weaker, but
honestly, I'm scared. I'm scared he's
Asta.
going to take I'm scared he's going to take with him too, and then
Yeah.
Yuno's going to have a Spade Kingdom arc. Like this guy, he's going to see like another Arcane Sage boom taking him too. It's completely overwhelmed him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm scared of happening.
That would be a really like straightforward way to put on display like just how powerful this guy is. I mean, obviously we know how powerful he is up to this point, but if he just smacked and just bagged him up along with the rest, just a bundle of them, I mean,
again, I think that the reason the author put in that little comment about saying like, oh, the injuries I sustained from last battle, he's trying to show like is not nowhere near 100% right now. Like he's
right.
So if he does get taken, he's not it's not really a huge difference in power. Like we'll see probably fight him again at full strength and obviously overpower him.
So now what I could see is
with Asta's help, possibly.
Well, I can see getting capped, right, and then I can see
captured.
Yeah,
I was thinking capped. I was like, dude,
no, captured, whatever. Sorry, but I could see getting captured, and then like they're trying to force him to make a deal with the devil, and then I could see Asta's devil like, interfering because like we know that they talk to each other, and like they're like on like a separate realm. And then I feel like we could see maybe Asta gaining control over his demon or something like along those lines where then like obviously Asta's going to interfere because just like with the elf thing, Yuno was like, oh, blah, 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 I'm an elf, I'm going to kill people. And then Asta was like, no, you're my rival. And then he just snapped out of it like that. So like we know that Asta has to come into play pretty much anywhere gets in trouble. So like I really do think that I agree. I think is going to get captured or like weakened or something, and then Asta's going to have to step in. And I feel like now that we're starting to see more of the devils, I could definitely see we're going to get more information on Asta's devil because we really know absolutely nothing about him. But we've started to hear more and more about this devil that's controlling the Spade Kingdom. And so, it's like I guess we kind of get the idea that Asta's devil hates all the other devils, right? And so, because he was very quick to wish away the other one that what was it? The one that had come out from the elves or that was controlling the elves, right? And so, I hope that we get to see more of Asta's devil.
For sure.
I think I could definitely see it like more and more. I'm getting a sense that we're going to see it go in a very direction to like the Naruto Nine-Tailed Fox dynamic where, he uses the length of the series to slowly introduce this anti-hero character in a way that, more and more we get a sense of, okay, this is like what he looks like. This is his personality. Okay, now Asta's going to train to start gaining like control or learning how to use the powers that he gets from him. And so I think it'll be that kind of progression where we'll see Asta's, entire progress through meeting the devil, obviously buddying up because Asta's number one homie. I mean, just everybody's his buddy. And
that plot armor.
I mean, dude,
I think it's
the main character.
I think you're spot on there. I think it's going to be almost like a Kurama-esque Naruto, like that devil. I feel personally that we're going to see a part where it shows that devil chose Asta for a reason, and whether it be like when because the way that I've taken it now, to go back to your point, Xander, where they could talk like the devil interfering, I've taken it now that devil has resided himself either within the Grimoire or within Asta himself. Wherever Asta goes, that devil is, and that devil is now out of that plane, like kind of with Asta. Like he wouldn't have been able to talk to that devil had Asta not be the one to like be right there slaying him, and like that devil like kind of like whispered like, "Yo, got you." Like,
well, so and one thing that like I guess we kind of forgotten about was that like what is it? Is like the Neo of the Spade Kingdom, like right? He is the Spade Kingdom prince of the like most royal family. And one thing that we didn't talk about last week that I kind of forgot to mention was, so they just like they happened to just chuck onto this porch of the church, and Asta was there too. Like what a coincidence of all coincidences And so like
It's fate, dude. There's magic.
Dude, it's
there's literally fate magic.
Not even magic.
Not
it's manga.
There is
it's
fate
manga.
magic, yes, DJ.
Xander, it's
like
manga.
those two things aren't mutually exclusive in this universe.
Like it's just like they
coincidences
put
are
Asta
what
down
keep
on the
them going.
porch, and then just like the dude just whoops up a spell and chucks Yuno across the like village onto the porch, and it's just like right next to the baby, or the other way around where Yuno gets slapped down on the porch, and then some other person that's carrying Asta is just like, oh shit, another baby. Like let me put this down right next to this one. Like
Asta's probably not a nobody though.
Xander,
I mean,
put him out in front of a firehouse. He had to put him out somewhere.
I mean, Asta is definitely not a nobody. There's no way he's a nobody.
Exactly. He's probably not a prince or royalty or anything like that. But like, yeah, he's not a nobody for sure. So we're
Who
gonna
knows?
see
He could be
more
the
for that.
outcome of some like dark devil magic too, like by having no magic or something. Or we have no idea where
like the
that's gonna go.
Antichrist.
What? Oh, well. Geez.
I mean, maybe not, but
Now we're getting religious, and it's just magic. It's just.
Well, there is religion.
Well, there's a
within
church.
this.
There's a
There is
church.
religion within
it's gonna
this.
say,
really-
man. I mean, yeah,
I guess those aren't mutually exclusive either.
they're called devils.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
true.
think it's so. I mean, so now that actually kind of in my mind confirms the fact that they're going to capture Yuno, bring him back to the Spade Kingdom, and then they're going to be like, oh wait a second, this
You
is
look
like
familiar.
high royalty, and then that'll trigger some other things.
Well, I don't know if they'll necessarily know that. Like if they know but maybe the devil will know. I definitely think it's going to bring Asta. Obviously, Asta's going to be the one who, in the end, is going to be fighting the devil. I think the big underlying, at least my theory, and this may be tin hat-esque of me. I haven't built
Where's
one
your
yet.
hat?
I haven't built one yet. It is coming. At least episode 4. Give me some time. But so I feel that devil. There's going to be some like intertwined story of like that devil was outcast from the other devils as well, and now there's a reason why he's like hunting in a sense. Like he knew that Asta was destined to be, like if there's this whole thing with destiny and fate or like whatever, and the devils could see that possibly by seeing how where Yuno was, if we know that, then like he picked Asta for a reason. He knew he was going to come in contact with these stuff and kind of has guided him to be like, you're the reason I'm going to be able to help you kill these devils, and like we're going to get them together, kind of deal like that.
I agree completely. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is because whenever you saw the one devil that was controlling the elves dying, and he was kind of like Asta's devil was kind of like a gotcha bitch, and so and I was just like, okay, yeah, like it kind of got me thinking, like, was he outcast, and maybe that's the reason why he got outcasted for creating Asta, or like in some sort of there's going to be some like intertwining of all of those different things. But I completely agree with you that I feel like there's definitely a what is it, kind of like a revenge line for this devil that like is intertwined with Asta. So a big
question I had was that he seemed to know who that devil was. I have to go back and reread that.
Yeah,
but Asta's devil seemed to know who that devil was, but that devil didn't know who Asta's was.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm very confused about that, or where they're gonna like take that whole thing, because I think there are implications to that.
Asta's devil.
Here's my thing.
Big guy up top.
I would imagine the other way around.
Yeah.
No, yeah, other way around. Because like I think, the whole thing about devils in the series is that they just manipulate people for long periods of time. They have like infinite patience to just manipulate things to go according to their plan, and like so that they can just, I don't know, gain power, gain whatever they want. It seems like Asta's devil is different than the others who manipulate humans for their own ends, or elves or whatever. I think this is a devil that's trying to, like what Xander was saying, pretty much like manipulate other people to take out all this competition in the other devils and ultimately manipulate other devils. So I think he's got his sights set higher than the rest of the devils we see.
He's playing 4D chess.
But everything is long-term manipulation. So this devil is clearly, he's been manipulating things for a long time. He's got a game plan that we don't even see yet. But yeah, I think he's trying to, obviously Asta's going to win in the end, but I think Asta's devil is trying to manipulate things So that Asta pretty much ends up taking out all his enemies or something like that.
So hear me out on this idea. So I'll put my tinfoil hat on now, right? So, so because you know how like whenever they talk about making a deal with the devil, they become cursed in some sort of way. What if this devil, Asta's devil, had made a deal with some other being to be cursed with no magic? And so now it's taking its revenge on the other devils because now it has no magic. Like, and that's the thing, is that over time it had created these items and so forth to basically be able to, you know, I guess like fight its way back. And so we may later find out what that being is or whatever, you know, maybe it's an angel, who knows? Because right, there's religion, right? So he could have made a deal with an angel to do this thing, and then the other devils found out, so they banished him and then they cursed him. And so this is his like way of fighting back against it, against the other devils. And that he's, you know, like what DJ was saying, is that they spent all this time trying to find, you know, like waiting patiently until they found Asta with all this drive and resilience and no magic. You know, he was born this way, obviously for some other reason that we'll find out later. And then that devil, you know, used him as the host to then complete his goal or whatever.
Do we know if, and what you said about angels, what made me think of this, but do we know if like the devils are their own, like, are they like a race of people kind of like the elves, or is there like a super devil who like...
Devils are like from different dimensions, so they're not like elves, dwarves, or humans.
But they are from the same dimension. Like all of the devils, like, are from the demon dimension, correct?
Okay. They'd probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So I do you think that there's going to be a leader of the devils? Like there's going to be a Satan.
Here's an interesting theory, and this is again here we go with my tin hat. It's just, you know, right up there. So what if he was this devil is so old, right? Possibly he's so old that he is like, if you go and spin off of your theory with like the angels, if he is the devil, and even goes into like religious theories about like the devil being the angel who fell from heaven or whatever. So he could be the as Connor would say, I like that term, super devil that has been, and you know, let's just combine all of it. Wow, I'm the man. So Connor's super devil theory is DJ's kind of like, okay, well, he's manipulating people on such a long-term thing that it has been, you know, since, however, he's the devil that has anti-magic, right? Not any sort of magic in any sense, not even devil magic. It's just anti-magic. And it's so unique that now Asta's come along with no magic, and he's chose him. He's like, all right, this is my vessel that's going to end up killing all the other devils. And at that point, like, we're like, oh, Asta's won. Boom, Kaguya moment to where, like, that devil is now the overall bad guy. And he's like, this whole plan was just to get all the other devils who could have teamed up on me. Like, I've been the OG devil. I'm back. Like,
oh, man.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that
Dude,
a lot.
I like that a lot. But the only thing is, like, at the same time, I wonder how, like, I feel like Asta, the way it progresses, like, Asta needs to somehow gain full control over his devil to truly awaken his powers. So I don't know how to reconcile the two of those, but I definitely like that theory, though.
Well,
right.
So I think that
much more satisfying than
like,
Naruto.
how do you have Asta win that? Is it an inner battle, like, through that arc? Like, I definitely agree. What is the outcome of that? Because obviously Asta wins at the end. We all know he's going to be the magic.
And then he's got to have full control of devil powers somehow.
We could see, like, you know, he's obviously been setting up like all these big moments where Yuno is in danger or somebody is in danger, and Asta blows through the door or the wall, you know, and just saves the day. I mean, what if, you know, just tinfoil hat is locked on? What if, Devin, everything you said, but at the end when the devil kind of, you know, reveals himself like, haha, you fools, I've done it.
You fools.
Yuno comes in and Yuno saves Asta. And it's
I
like
could definitely
this,
see that.
you know, parallel situation.
But we all know that if Asta can slap Yuno, then like this devil who's arguably way more powerful than Asta can slap Yuno.
I don't know about slap. I think Asta and Yuno are pretty even. And that's the whole point of the series.
The problem will be is if it's going to end up being like, if that devil comes out, will it take Asta's powers with him? Will Asta be basically just, he won't be a factor in that arc? Because if he's not, and the devil has the anti-magic, there is no other stuff that will be able to keep up with that. Like the anti-magic is just so unique to there's not anything that can keep up with it.
Yeah, and nobody ever seems to, like, not even the devil understood the anti-magic, right? So
right, yeah. I think that is like the OG, like, it's so old that no one knows what it is. Like, there would have had to be, in the beginning, if we're going to go back to Genesis of, like, magic, there has to be magic and anti-magic. So there would have to be something that, like, traces that back, which, yeah, I mean, it would have to be the OG, you know?
Yeah, it's got to be OG Devil. It has to be. Yeah, because if it had laid dormant for so long and this and that the other devils that had grown and learned and stuff never knew about it. Because
yeah, and he comes out and, like, it's because of his magic, it's because of that anti-magic that all of those other devils are born without even knowing, like, yo, y'all are my sons. Like, you know?
So now, okay, now I got another question for you guys. How long do you think it'll take? How long do you think it will take for Asta to become full devil, like to just go like full on? Do you think
I don't know.
At the very end, or do you think
it took Naruto like 800 chapters?
Yeah, pretty much at the end. You know,
I would imagine at the very end. Yeah,
it's like the climax moment. You know, that he like finally gets it all. The Wizard King.
Well, it's final arc.
Yeah, and to visualize it, it would basically be, in my mind, like a Boo and an evil Boo. Like, the minute that the one beats the other, he just absorbs that power. Like, Asta's gonna win and then absorb the rest of the devil power through, like, one of the swords and just be like, all right, I got this now. I'm in control here. I'm the OG devil now. Y'all are my sons. Yeah.
Why do they all got to be big? Why don't all main characters got it?
Well,
they're not gonna be small.
It's the only way to represent in, you know, visual drawing that they are powerful. They have to be jacked. If they're not jacked, I mean, One Piece is the only one that doesn't go with that route. Because
I mean, Luffy's getting pretty ripped. But
but like Sanji or like you know, the admirals, they look like stickmen, and their kicks break steel.
But in everything else, it normally signifies being weak. I mean, look what they did to Gohan. Just by drawing him different, you could tell.
Just by giving him glasses, he's a nerd.
Huge power decrease.
Getting a little off topic. All right, but I mean, I guess what do you think? What is going to happen next chapter then? I mean, I guess we kind of.
Yeah,
I mean, Yuno's probably going to get captured.
Yeah, I think we'll see more of Yuno. Or, well, I could see either Yuno getting captured, or we could see, like, where's Asta in this whole thing. You know, or I feel like we'll either get Yuno or we'll get some other side characters. I really doubt we'll see much of Asta. I think we'll start to see where, like, other sidekicks in their battles are going.
Well, yeah, because in reference to the universe and where they're at, like, on a map in that universe, they're pretty separate, right? Like, Asta's out on a mission right now.
Asta's, like, pretty much in the Spade Kingdom right now.
Right. And even if Asta can fly, which is awesome that Asta can fly now, by the way. But even if
it's in the air.
Yeah. Right? But I don't think he's that mobile.
He's also banished. The Black Bulls are banished from the Clover Kingdom. So
that's right. Yeah. What am I thinking?
They're not coming. This is Yuno's arc right now.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
This may be the thing. Oh, speaking of that's a huge missed on. Just one of the final thoughts. That's probably this whole thing saving them. The Black Bulls are going to end up saving, you know, all of these Golden Dawn Knights and everything. So they most likely will end up going back to the Spade Kingdom with Yuno and William Vangeon. The Black Bulls are going to save them being in the Spade Kingdom already, and then that's going to get them back into the Clover Kingdom.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff.
So let us know what you guys think. Please feel free to comment down below. Let us know what you guys think.
Like and subscribe.
Coming at you live. Notification.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at @offthestoop_in-between. We'll see you next week.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Hey guys, thanks for listening to another episode from Off the Stoop. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more epic content as we dive deeper into these chapters. You can follow us at Off the Stoop on our socials to see funny memes and to also know when our videos go live. Thanks and have a great day.